Just ahead.
Day 2 of the trial of a man accused of viciously attacking a senior citizen is underway. I'm Katara Jones. I'll have more details coming up on CTV News.
Plus, a local chef gets top chef honors and learn some simple things you can do in your backyard to keep the air clean. Those stories and more coming up on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Mariah Jalad with a CTV News update. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's the second day of Julius Wright's trial, the man accused of violently striking an elderly man back in the summer of 2022. Police say this assault ultimately led to the death of the victim, 87-year-old Johnny Lee of Shepherd. CTV's Katara Jones is outside the courthouse in Upper Marlboro with more on this developing story.
The trial of Julius Wright continued today. He is the man accused of physically attacking 87-year-old Johnny Lee Shepherd back in June of 2022 in a parking lot on Cherry Hill Road. The attack, which was captured on surveillance video, shows Wright punching Shepherd until he fell to the ground, and he is also seen continuing to attack the elderly man. Shepherd ultimately died a month later in the hospital from his injuries, and police say this assault stemmed from a dispute over damage to a car involving the victim and Wright's then-girlfriend, Christina Felder. Now today in court, Wright took the stand. He says he, quote, did a dumb thing. He also says that he had a verbal exchange between Shepherd just prior to the attack. Wright also claimed he blacked out during the assault on Shepherd. Now, Wright faces murder charges, and the case is expected to continue tomorrow right here at the courthouse. Katara Jones, CTV News.
Again, the trial is expected to continue tomorrow at 9 a.m. And a call for a domestic dispute leads to the arrest of a Prince George's County police officer who allegedly struck a responding sheriff's deputy. It happened at around 1 o'clock this morning in Charles County at the officer's home. Charles Williams has been charged with second-degree assault. He's been suspended with pay. Investigators say the deputy was not injured. And Maryland's Chef of the Year, Tobias Dorzen, is honored by the Prince George's County Council today. Dorzen is the first chef from Prince George's to win the state's award. You might recognize him from his restaurant, Huncho House in Hyattsville, or his appearances on Food Network shows like Chopped. He was awarded top chef for his innovative West African cuisine.
Growing up in PG County, we really didn't have anything to go home to or go out to eat, or you had to go into D.C., go to Virginia, or go to Montgomery County, and it's important that we have so many amazing chefs in our county and so many amazing opportunities to do things, putting together an amazing team and putting together flavors and something that we haven't really had in our county. So it was important for me to be able to come home and do something like that, which this is just the beginning, honestly, just what we've done in the past year and a half to be able to have a blessing like that and an opportunity to win Chef of the Year with, not having all the resources and things that we're going to have in the future. It's a true blessing.
Dorzen's next Hyattsville restaurant, 1123 The Huncho Experience, is set to open next month. And the embattled Prince George's County Circuit Judge April Ademaluyi has been removed by the Maryland Supreme Court. Judge Ademaluyi has been suspended since 2023 over a number of misconduct accusations. The Commission on Judicial Disabilities requested her removal for allegedly refusing training, showing bias toward criminal defendants, and antagonizing staff and colleagues. Ademaluyi tried to appeal her case to the higher court, but it ultimately decided to remove her due to what court documents call the egregious nature of the misconduct. And Governor Wes Moore has announced $125 million for state revitalization programs that support local housing and economic development. The funding is available from a number of programs, including Community Legacy and the Maryland Facade Improvement Program. Officials say the goal is to support hundreds of community improvement projects and activities, which will generate millions of dollars. Applications are due June 26 by 3 p.m. And the city of Mount Rainier is providing financial help to small businesses that were impacted by construction of a streetscape project. The city's Business Interruption Fund program has allocated $45,000 for businesses that lost revenue due to the construction. Along the 3,300 blocks of Rhode Island Avenue and Perry Street, the streetscape included new sidewalks, landscaping, benches, and a nature play area. Businesses interested in applying for the funding can call 301-985-6585. And a Temple Hills woman has been charged for the fatal stabbing of her boyfriend. On May 4th, around 1 p.m., police responded to the 4200 block of 28th Avenue after 32-year-old Diamond Thomas stabbed 34-year-old Archie Phillips during an argument. Police found him suffering from a stab wound, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Anyone with information related to the incident is asked to call 301-516-2512. And police have identified the man who died after crashing into a White House barrier on Saturday night. He is 57-year-old James Lewis of Matthews, North Carolina. Investigators say Lewis was traveling at a high speed on the 1400 block of Pennsylvania Avenue around 10:15 p.m. They say he blew through 2 red lights before striking a vehicle barrier at the intersection of 15th and E Streets. Lewis was found with severe injuries and later pronounced dead at the scene. And while the crash remains under investigation, police say there was no threat to the White House. Still to come, the Washington Commanders help build a playground. We have the details after the break.
I surrender.
All right, pal.
Hey, Dad, do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with a low near 70.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
You budget. You pay bills.
Yet somehow, women like you, like me,
Are 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to save ourselves by setting a goal to save 2% more of our income for our retirement.
Why 2?
1% honors you.
And 1% honors all womankind.
So come on. Learn more about the 2% challenge at WeSaySaveIt.org.
Welcome back. This week is Air Quality Awareness Week, and Clean Air Partners are urging residents to start greening their lawns to help reduce air pollution. One of the things they recommend, replacing gas-powered lawn tools with the electric versions. Some gas lawn mowers produce worse carbon footprints than cars. On average, an hour of mowing with gas equals the same emissions as driving from the district to Cleveland, Ohio. That's about 350 miles. Also, a gas leaf blower pollutes nearly 300 times as much as a pickup truck.
Give them the best inhalers, right? I can give them the best instructions on how to use these medications, but if they're going out and they're surrounded by poor air quality, not a single inhaler can offset that impact. I have many patients using their inhalers just as I've prescribed, following the instructions, following everything they can, but what's out of their control is the outdoor air. And a lot of them have to go outside for either their work or for various reasons, picking up kids or taking them to camp, or just going out and wanting to get some exercise. And knowing that bad air that they'll breathe in is going to impact their lungs is important to them. It's going to cause them to feel breathless. It's going to cause them to have increase of coughing, increase of sputum and phlegm production. For some, it may even result in a hospitalization because their asthma gets so difficult to control.
For more information on Air Quality Week, visit cleanairpartners.net. And Maryland is leading the nation in the transition to zero-emission vehicles. As of April 30th, the state has registered over 100,000 electric vehicles, and it's growing at a steady pace of 2,500 EVs a month. The state and the federal government currently offer a variety of incentives for purchasing EVs, including tax credits, rebates, and permits. Maryland officials plan to increase charging infrastructure, making EVs more affordable and accessible, and are encouraging all Marylanders to consider transitioning to electric. And we now know the name of the man who was shot and killed in an apartment on Sunday. He's been identified as 22-year-old Lewis Smith Jr. of Greenbelt. Around 11:20 Sunday night, police responded to the 2600 block of Southern Avenue near the D.C.-Maryland line for the report of a shooting. That's where they found Smith inside a stairwell at the South Point Apartments, suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Anyone with information is asked to call 1-866-411-TIPS. A reward of up to $25,000 is being offered for information leading to an arrest and indictment in this case. And it was last October when Maryland joined 32 other states in filing a lawsuit against Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Gregory Dolan is a professor at the University of Baltimore School of Law. He says it's too soon to tell if the states will win the lawsuit, but he says the suit could lead to a change of business practices for the company. The states allege Meta knew of the harmful impact of its platform on young people and misled the public about the dangers associated with the use of the platform. Dolan says the outcome will depend on what comes out in discovery. That could increase the likelihood in a settlement. And Maryland comes in around the middle of the pack in a new ranking of the 50 states published by U.S. News & World Report. Based off categories like healthcare, safety, and more, Maryland comes in as the 22nd best state in the country. And that's quite a bit behind our neighbors Virginia, who were ranked number 13. Maryland ranked highly for its natural environment, number 6 for air and water quality, and ranked number 7 in healthcare. And for the second year in a row, Utah was named the best state. And the Washington Commanders helped build a playground for kids at the Oakcrest Community Center in Capitol Heights. The team partnered with Bethesda-based nonprofit Kaboom, which works to build new playgrounds in underserved communities. New playgrounds have also been built in Riverdale, Chilham, and Fort Washington. The next playground is expected to open in the Palmer Park area this summer. And are you ready to start preparing for your golden years? Does your employer offer a retirement plan and you're wondering, should you participate or shouldn't you? Well, financial advisor Ernest Burley is here to give us the ABCs on retirement plans. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill? No. You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
I just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kids should know.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that.
Here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Well, it's Tuesday, so we are talking money matters. Today, pensions are a rarity and Social Security isn't a slam dunk for future generations. So how should you plan for your golden years? And if you have access to a retirement plan at work, such as a 401k, should you be taking advantage of it? Financial advisor Ernest Burley from Burley Insurance and Financial Services is back with us again to talk your retirement plan simplified. Well, Mr. Burley, can you tell me about some of those typical employer-sponsored retirement plans?
Well, some of them include the 401k, like you mentioned before, but there's also the 403b, TSP, 457 plan, and there are two plans that are very friendly to small business owners, and unfortunately, they don't take advantage of it: the SEP IRA and the Simple IRA. So I encourage small business owners to try to take advantage of those.
I see. So I know a lot of people my age, they're just finishing school, starting those full-time jobs. When should they start thinking about their retirement plans? How much money is going into it, getting into that at their jobs?
As soon as they start working. Because we talked about our friend compound interest. The longer you put into the plan, the more opportunity you have to build compound interest over time. So the sooner you start, really the less money you have to start with, as opposed to starting much later in life where you have to really start chunking away money.
So what are some of those advantages of opting into the employer-sponsored retirement plan versus another type of plan?
Yeah, so the advantages, the first advantage is you're saving for your retirement, right? So if you don't put anything into the bucket, there's not going to be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It doesn't work that way. So that's one advantage. The second is you're getting a tax benefit by doing it. So if you put away $5,000, you earn $50,000, you're only taxed on $45,000. So that's another advantage. And then also the money is growing tax deferred going forward, so you're not taxed on the gains every year. And also a lot of these plans have matching programs, so you always want to take advantage of the match too.
Matching, what do you mean by that? That's just with the employer-sponsored programs?
It's matching like your blue and red. No, just what they matching programs say, if you put in a certain amount of money, then they will match it. So hypothetically, if you put away $2,000, they'll add $2,000. So by the end of that year, you will have $4,000 contributed instead of just your $2,000. You always want to take the free money.
Right. So what determines that match? Is that just based off the plan that your employer provides you with?
It's based on a percentage of your income and the amount that you contribute. So hypothetically, if you earn $80,000 a year and there's a 5% match, that means 5% of $80,000 is $4,000. If you put away $4,000, they're going to put away $4,000, so you have $8,000 contributed by the end of that year. But if you put away less, they're going to match less. If you only put away $1,000, they're going to put away $1,000. If you put away more, $10,000, they're still going to cap it at the $4,000. That's the way it works.
I see. So what if my employer's plan doesn't provide me with any kind of matching? Should I still be contributing to that plan? Is it still going to be worth it for me?
Yeah, so it depends. This is where strategy comes in, right? So I highly recommend clients open up a Roth IRA if the plan isn't matching. But you have to realize the Roth IRA is not going to give you a tax break on the front end, it's on the back end. So some people love that tax break on the front end. So if they do, then do that. But the Roth IRA is a great way to go, but they have a limit. If you're under 50, $7,000 is the max you can put away. So if you want to put away more, max the Roth and then put the balance into the 401k plan.
I see. So I'm still kind of learning about all this stuff. How do I decide where to put my money in the plan?
Yeah, take a look at your risk tolerance. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and also your time horizon. So how much risk are you willing to take to try to make some possible gains, and how long is it before you plan to retire? And those plans have a wide spectrum of funds, so everywhere from conservative to aggressive and everything in between, so you kind of diversify based on the funds you have access to. I do recommend you get assistance with that, though, if you don't really know how to do that. Yeah.
I see, okay. So when it comes to the different plans, what are some of the advantages of the different growth options that they could give you? How much is it going to grow over time, and what should I be looking for when it comes to that?
Right, so on the growth side, those funds range from like large cap, small cap, mid cap, international funds, blue chip funds. And oddly enough, the small cap and mid cap funds outpace large cap funds. The large caps are like your top 100 companies in the country for the most part. But the smaller companies, sometimes they kind of outpace the growth there, but they're more volatile too. And then there are international funds too that invest in stocks outside of the United States to give you more diversification. So you kind of just diversify between those funds, and if you want some safety there, you get some of those conservative funds too.
I see. So if I don't want to do the small cap or the large cap, what if I want to be in the middle and kind of make sure there's like a good balance between my retirement plan and if I have any kind of other investments, something like that?
Right. So you just balance it between those two. You might include some small cap, large cap, international, what have you, but if you want it in the middle, you'd have half of it in the conservative funds, which are things like bond funds, income funds, they have stable money market funds. Those type funds are more conservative, so you do like half of your money would go there, and the other half would go in the more aggressive, or I would say growth-oriented funds like your small cap, large cap, mid cap, international funds, blue chip funds. You just choose which ones you wanted to put in there.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you.
Ask for assistance.
I will. I'll always do that. Thank you very much, Mr. Burley. I'm definitely
welcome.
Getting a lot smarter talking to you.
Sounds good.
Individuals should be contacting their own financial professionals and attorneys to help answer questions about specific situations or needs before taking any action based on this information. And now we're going to go to Simon Buggs with a preview of our Tuesday sports page, and I hear some high schools teams hit the diamond yesterday.
Hey there, sports fans, and coming right up, some highlights from the Wise versus Flowers high school baseball game that was played yesterday. Believe me, you don't want to miss this.
This is the story of the American Cancer Society, a proven history of 110 years of wins in advocacy, research, and patient support. The story of how people don't have to face cancer alone. Because for 110 years, we have made significant progress against cancer together. Increasing our chances of survival by championing early detection tools and funding and conducting studies like the one that helped reduce smoking's deadly grip. Providing lifelines through patient support for people with cancer and those who love them. Like a home away from home for free. And helping make real change by raising all our voices to make cancer research a national priority. From day one, we believe that research can save lives. We have been committed to providing unwavering support, and we continue to stand up to achieve important policy change. Because we know that's how we can achieve quality cancer care that's equal for all. We are proud of our wins, but even more proud of the brave people that deal with cancer every day. And of all of you that support, donate, volunteer, and work to make it better for every cancer, every life. Now, let's keep making history together. Let's keep winning until we can end cancer as we know it for everyone.
All right, everyone, the moment you've all been waiting for, the start of your Tuesday sports page. We begin with some highlights from the world of high school baseball. It was an exciting matchup yesterday as the Wise High School baseball team took the diamond versus Flowers. Beginning with the first inning, Wise was able to strike first as this single hit by infielder and pitcher Ray Hicks resulted in 2 runs for the Pumas. But over the next 2 innings, Flowers was not only able to tie the game, but they also took the lead because of plays made like this RBI from outfielder, first baseman, and pitcher Mark Harrison Jr., as well as a triple hit by Harrison that resulted in 3 runs for the Jaguars. And because of this, Flowers was up 8-3 on the Pumas heading into the 4th inning. Over the next 4 innings, Wide's offense continued to put up runs, but they weren't able to close the gap, as Flowers did as well, and because of this, the Pumas fell to the Jaguars 12-7. And sticking with high school baseball, history could be made this afternoon as Harrison could break the record for the most runs in Maryland history. The state record is 129, and with Harrison having 128, he needs just 2 more to eclipse it. Harrison and the rest of the team will match up against Gwynn Park at 4:30 at home, and CTV Sports will be at the game and will have highlights for you tomorrow. And wrapping up sports, it was revealed that the Bowie State softball team will match up against East Stroudsburg University for the first round of the NCAA tournament. This is the Lady Bulldogs' 5th overall tournament selection and 2nd straight over the last 2 seasons. The 2 teams will face off on Thursday, May 9th. And that wraps up your Tuesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. Now we're going to get a quick check on a very wet 3-day weather forecast. Tonight we've got a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 64. Wednesday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms all day with a high of 87 and a low of 64. Thursdays, showers likely, temps rise to 79 during the day and fall to 61 at night. Friday, you guessed it, rain, rain, rain with a high of 71 and a low of 52. And now for the community calendar, break the stigma and spring into wellness at the Adult Behavioral Health Expo. Put your physical and mental well-being first with demonstrations, health screenings, expungement services, and more. The expo takes place May 11th from 10 to 2 at the Southern Regional Technology and Recreational Complex. For more information, call 301-856-9500. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Mariah Jalad. Join us again tomorrow for some more local news. Have a great evening.